The Flash 791, Jeremy Adams writing, Roger Cruz on the art. This is the second part of the 1 Minute War, which is our big story of the invading alien force, which has slowed down time, so only the speedsters are actually kind of aware of it, and everyone else is kind of frozen still. And this issue is mostly about most of the Flash family characters kind of just sort of coming together and assessing the damage. We kind of predicted correctly that Jay, young Jay, would be affected by this because he's not a speedster in powers. So it seems like he saved everyone by holding a tree in front of them when the shockwave hit, but like he is now, which leads to this funny thing where they're kind of like bringing all the non-speedsters out of the house to keep them safe because they're all just sort of like sitting or lying there, so you can see them sort of carrying like Mr. Terrific in and stuff.
The Mr. Terrific part really cracked me up.
Yeah, I chuckle out of that. Yeah, so we get the sense of scale of this ship that's arrived, and all these like alien tanks come out of it. The Kid Flashes kind of argue about like that, and Jay ends up grabbing them. I
love that Jay has to show up and be the adult in the room, right? Like, all right, guys, you gotta be quiet because they're doing. I also like when Jesse shows up and points out, which this is something I missed, that spire is from the Mad Max world. That we saw when they were running around.
Yeah, I did not remember that at all.
I did not either.
Yeah.
So, so that Barry from the Mad Max world, that's a world where these, the colony or whatever they're called, has already taken over.
Yeah, so that was. So yeah, they're not just going through planet to planet in space. They're going, from multiverse, through the multiverse to different worlds. So that's very interesting, and they're kind of excited that there's so many speedsters around because they can detect that there's like X number of speedsters. Like, wait, there's 5 in the immediate area. What?
5 organic. What do they call them? 5 organic.
Oh yeah, I think you can find the word they use for them.
So they even look at the Speed Force completely different, which I do like. It gives this conquering group.
The phrase, Matt, was organic conduit. There's 5 conduits. Yes.
Yeah.
Which the Empress will be delighted by if they can nab them. So we set up this kind of hierarchy a little bit. We see some of the villains. But yeah, so there's some Empress at the top of this regime, whoever they are. There was a name that was used for them here somewhere.
So I thought it was like the colony or something along those lines.
Yeah, it was something simple like that. It wasn't like a super in-depth name. But regardless,
you keep going. I'll find it.
Yeah. So yeah, we see like Max Mercury takes out one of the alien guys on a speed bike because obviously these beings are all unaffected by whatever they're doing to space and time, other than the speedsters obviously. But yeah, basically the family all emerge, and the big thing is that it looks like Iris is dead. Now, I'm glad that they're treating it with some weight, and like Barry refusing to let go of her is all very sweet. It does kind of feel like it's not going to stick though. I feel like somehow Iris will be alive again at the end of this arc.
Oh yeah.
That's what it feels like to me.
So they're called the Fraction.
That's what it was. The Fraction.
The Fraction. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I agree about that. But with Iris, just because it feels like they're in between heartbeats right now, right? Like they're still moving it, through the Speed Force against these guys, and I do feel like it'll be one of those things that the Flash family comes together to solve this, with Iris.
Now, it's worth mentioning, there's a reveal at the end for a villain. I don't think this is the Empress, though. I got the impression this was like a dangerous, like, high-ranking person in their system, but it's not their Empress. But we get the reveal of someone who's coming to hunt the speedsters called Miss Murder, and it's kind of a weird, like, there's a little bit of Batman Who Laughs in the design of this character, which is a bit weird.
Because they did talk about that they picked her up amongst their travels.
Yeah. So curious to see. I have to say I don't love the design of this character, but it's the only thing I don't like about the issue because everything else I like all the Flash family members sort of coming together. Wallace and Bart like bickering and being kind of trying to one up each other a little bit is kind of entertaining, like all that stuff. And then just the setting up that, again, I love the concept of this entire arc, which is this entity, this alien force have frozen time, and they're just going to go around and collect everything they want whilst everyone's frozen. But the speedsters are the only ones who are like aware of what's going on and can try and stop them. That is such a strong concept that just seeing like the the villains like maneuver their troops and their tanks and like sort of talk about their plans is interesting right now. I'm curious like how this is going to play out. So really strong concept.
So they called her the Hunter, right? So it feels like there's a kind of how like Darkseid has the Furies, right? And they send the Furies out and the Parademons. This feels along the same lines.
This feels like the wild card lieutenant that gets sent out to like deal with the tough problems. Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll see. I mean, we don't know much about the faction and if they are, you know, in the Speed Force as well. But if they said they picked her up on the Dark World, and now that after, you know, what we know about the multiverse and all this other stuff.
Yeah, I assume that was just one of the dark.
Yeah.
You know.
One of the other ones.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say, I mean, I hate the design of this character. It's ridiculous and stupid and bad. But everything the story's doing, I'm really liking.
Yes.
This arc still has a lot of potential to be like, and I say this having enjoyed the run, but this arc could easily be the best arc of the whole run, if it sticks to its potential that's been, you know, here in these first couple issues. So, and they are solid, you know. Crew's still doing a good job. So, you know, I still don't like him as much as the previous artist, but solid enough. Some nice moments with the various characters.
Yeah.
So
still a fan of seeing all these other peripheral Flash family characters like Jesse Quick and Max Mercury. You know, get some shine.
There's a real embracing of like legacy in a lot of the books right now at DC, and it's delightful to see, given how much that was like a no-no whilst Didio was still at the helm.
Yeah. Well, like again, I feel like a lot of this stuff couldn't happen. I feel like he didn't like the idea of Dick and Wally having their own books, so that's why we didn't get them forever. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's why Rick Grayson was created. You know, to spite people like us. But yeah, so the fact that both of these, you know, characters are in their own books, and Nightwing's never been better, and the Flash is really strong right now. You know, for Wally's book, I'm taking that stuff as a win.
Yeah. So yeah, having fun with this arc. What are you giving the issue, Matt?
I'm giving this 7.5.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. So, well, I'll still go with the 8. I think I'm not going to let the design of that character put me down too much. So 8 out of 10 for me.